But joining us on the program right now, NRA ILA's Pennsylvania State Liaison, John Hohenwater. John, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Cam. How are you doing?
I'm okay. I'm wondering if something is in the water in Philadelphia. They are at it again. What is it? How is it that the place where our freedom was born now is a city where the leaders there, the elected officials, just don't seem to understand the concept of individual liberty and freedom?
Well, I say the same thing about Massachusetts.
I know.
That's the truth. But no, I mean, no surprise with Philadelphia. They're up to their same shenanigans, and I would imagine they're probably going to pass this ordinance. And
Now, this ordinance that we're talking about here, this would say that if you are a Philadelphia resident and you have an out-of-state concealed carry permit, but you don't have a Pennsylvania permit, that you're in violation of the law?
that's right. They're calling it the Florida Loophole. And keep in mind, the legislature, about 2 months ago, the state Senate voted this measure down. And it was offered over in the House, in committee in the House, and it was voted down in the House. I was offered at the time by Representative Bruce Lynn. So, they're doing what they did in the past. They're not able to win this fight of theirs on the state level, so they're out passing their own gun laws. And you and I both know it's contrary to state preemption, and they're probably going to do it, and we're going to have to go to court and challenge it.
Yeah, I mean, it's almost like cities behaving badly. You almost want to see like some DVD, Cities Gone Wild, because what they're doing here, and it's very simple, as you say, John, they didn't get the result they wanted at the state legislature, so they decided, well, to heck with state law, we'll just go ahead and do this, and I guess if they're going to sue us, well, they'll sue us. This is not the rule of law.
No, it's not the rule of law, and I think, not only is it Philadelphia, Cam, but we had Pittsburgh out passing their own ordinances, and right now we have approximately somewhere around 30 municipalities here in the Keystone State that have passed mandatory reporting of lost and stolen firearms. So we're really, with the change in the legislature this year, we have a new governor that's going to be sworn in January. We had a change in the majorities in the House, and I think it's time maybe that the legislature revisit our preemption law here in Pennsylvania and put some teeth in the law to really to penalize these cities that come out and pass these types of ordinances. And maybe we have to hit them in the pocketbook, dealing with attorney fees, and there's a couple different ways to handle it, but I think clearly we may have to beef up our preemption. And I have to tell you, I thought we had a pretty good statute up here.
Well, I think you do when lawmakers want to obey the law. But as you say, when these city council members and when the mayor decide to, I can't believe I get to use this phrase, when they decide to take the law into their own hands, John, then perhaps you have to step in, as you say, kind of up the ante in terms of restricting the city's ability to do these things.
And that's really what they're doing. They're taking the law into their own hands. And we're litigating, out in Pittsburgh. We're litigating down in Philadelphia, and we've had some problems with standing in those cases over the last year and a half with the courts. And maybe that is something that should be put in this preemption law as well, as to create some sort of standing issue in which you don't have to wait until someone gets arrested to be able to challenge the law. And I think this, out of all the ordinances that we've seen down in Philadelphia over the years, this is probably going to be one of the toughest to enforce. I mean, how are you going to arrest somebody who's carrying on a Florida permit that under state law it's perfectly legal?
Yeah, it's interesting. In the past, we heard the, I guess now former DA in Philadelphia say that she was not going to enforce some of these local ordinances that the city council had passed. Have we heard anything at all from the current district attorney about this new proposal?
At this point, we have not. But you're right. Lynn Abraham at the time did come out publicly and say that that she would not enforce the measures, that they were contrary to state law. Again, that didn't stop them from passing it. And I don't know if we have some political grandstanding. I'm sure we do going on. But at the end of the day, the city's going to be the loser in this. And, it's going to end up taking taxpayer dollars, and it's going to take our dollars to litigate this. And, it's just par for the course for Philadelphia. But I think it really goes back to the main issue. I mean, I think this legislature and I think the new governor really needed to step up to the plate here and take a look at what's being done across the state with these local municipalities and try to correct the problem. And I anticipate there's going to be quite a bit of support to do that next year.
It sounds like it could be a busy session then with the return of castle doctrine and strengthening of preemption on the table.
Oh, it's going to be a refreshing session. We now have a governor in there that's very sympathetic to her cause on these issues and interprets the Second Amendment the way we think it should be interpreted, which is contrary to what the former governor, or present governor, Ed Rendell, has been doing over his 8 years. So it's going to be a different ball game starting next year, and I'm hoping we're going to make some progress here in Pennsylvania and pass some good gun laws. And I think NRA members here in Pennsylvania are looking forward to that.
Well, I know I'm looking forward to getting a chance to cover the next session. When does the next session kick off? When does Tom Corbett get sworn in as governor?
I think it's January 6th. So they'll all be, all the members will get sworn in first week of January, and they'll start up business soon after that.
All right. Well, John, have a Merry Christmas, sir, and a Happy New Year, and we'll be talking to you again very, very soon, I'm sure.